Hey guys, what's going on? It's your boy Fallen. I'm here with
Henning Kamm, the producer of The Special Need, a feature-length documentary that's showing in competition here at East Hamptons International Film Festival.
So for people who are not familiar with your film, can you give us 30 second to 1 minute synopsis of it?
Sure, no problem. I've done this a million times. The film
Starting off easy.
The film is about Enea, who's a 29-year-old guy, and he's still a virgin. Not because he doesn't want to or he's not able to, also not because he's Italian, even though that's part of the problem, but he is autistic. And the director, Carlo Zoratti, and Enea have been friends for 15 years. So it bothered Carlo that Enea is missing out on a good chunk of what defines us as human beings. And so he talked to the parents and the therapist, and they all said, oh, it's a huge problem. So Carlo did some research and realized, wow, in Italy, nothing we can do. But maybe somewhere else. So he looked beyond Italy and found out that in other European countries, things are being dealt with differently, actually, in fact. And so Enea, Carlo, and the third friend Alex, they went on a road trip through Europe to change things. That's the movie.
So for what made you decide to get involved with this project out of all the possibilities that are out there?
It was a beautiful teaser that Carlos showed me while I was having a movie night with a common friend, or with a mutual friend, David O'Reilly, who's filmed The External World I produced, which was here at the Hamptons Film Festival before. And Carlos just said, guys, I made this teaser, and he showed me the teaser, and I was just blown away, so I literally went down on my knees and said, let's make this film together, and that's what we did.
So if you had to point out, what has been one biggest obstacle you had to overcome while working on this project?
Okay, I have to name two.
Okay, two.
First was to get rid of the original Italian producer who didn't do anything for the film, and so that was tough. So first we had to get rid of someone, and then the second obstacle was obviously, getting people to trust us that we would not exploit our main protagonist. Nobody understood the concept of having a special needs friend, having a friend who's intellectually disabled, or having an autistic friend. Nobody knew this kind of concept, so everybody just thought like we would exploit him, which is crazy because you don't exploit your best friend.
Yeah.
He's your best friend. So that was those two things were the biggest challenges, but we overcame and we made this beautiful film.
Now let's talk about the opposite side of the spectrum. What has been the biggest high while working on this film, or the best feeling that you had?
The biggest high was probably when we got the final shot of the movie, which happened rather at the beginning of the shooting. I'm not going to go into details, but that's where everything that we had imagined and beyond came together. It's a very powerful scene, and it was probably the most beautiful. And then obviously, premiering the film at Locarno Film Festival in Switzerland in front of 2,500 people. All of them like applauding throughout the film, laughing, crying. It was really overwhelming. It was very, very overwhelming. We've had a couple of these screenings, and so we had a really good run with the movie.
Now, can you talk about the reception that you've been receiving for the film from the audience, like you kind of mentioned at the screening, and maybe from the industry specialists as well?
First, I mean, the biggest was the first tweet that we ever got for this film. First feedback from an audience was a guy who wrote, I got my heart broken while I was laughing. And I thought that was extremely powerful kind of quote. I get my heart broken while I was laughing, and that sums up the movie really nicely. So the overall audience reaction was extremely positive. We got an audience award at South by Southwest Festival, winning jury awards throughout the festival rounds in Dallas and in Trieste and at documentary festivals worldwide. So it's been positive. But then other people, they're maybe not. They don't understand the concept of working with somebody who's disabled. So they might think that this film is being scripted in any way, which. Yes, it was, but it was just a necessity on how you would work, and we would work with our protagonist just like his therapist has been working with him ever since he was 6 months old, And so we had to adapt the model, but that was not just for the sake of making a scripted reality documentary, but it was for the sake of working with our protagonist and getting, the most of it and making this big thing for him happening.
Now, here we're in the Hamptons International Film Festival. Are you guys currently doing a festival run? Do you plan on doing a physical distribution, digital distribution, VOD? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. Well, we started, as I said, the world premiere was in Locarno last August a year ago, 2013. Ever since then, we played all the major documentary festivals: Hot Dogs, CPH Dogs, Doc Leipzig, ITFA. It was at AFI Film Fest. It was in Dallas, South by Southwest. It played all in all 50 festivals so far, internationally. We've had a theatrical release in Italy, which went very, very well. We're going to have theatrical release in several European countries at the end of this year, amongst which is Germany, probably the biggest territory. For the US, we do have North American distribution, but it's not going to be theatrical. The movie, as a first feature non-English language film documentary, is too small for anybody to put in the effort nor the bucks to make it really work, and I can understand it, even though it's a shame. But we're gonna obviously we're gonna have VOD. We own the exclusive right to put it on Vimeo on demand. We're gonna work closely with Vimeo. I'm actually gonna have a meeting with them next week, and we're gonna do an outreach and engagement campaign to bring this film, as universal as it is, but still bring this film to those families and people that are dealing with the subject matter of having, mentally challenged child or brother or sister or nephew or whatnot, and then missing out on a big chunk of what defines us as human beings, being love and sexuality. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do.
Oh yeah, we're gonna follow you guys as more information develops. We'll definitely keep you follow up with you, and we're gonna bring our audience into it as well. Now,
Thanks.
for the future generation, because some of our audience are aspiring filmmakers themselves, for the future generation of filmmakers, I'm sure over your career you were able to obtain a bucket full of advice that you carry around with you. If you could reach into that bucket and pull out the most crucial advice, can you do that?
Well, as an aspiring filmmaker, you probably start out doing a short film. So I would advise you, that's what I learned from making many shorts and bringing them to, we had films that were very successful as shorts. Don't make it longer than 15 minutes. So make it short, make it not longer than 15 minutes, and make it an audience pleaser. So you're going to bring it to as many festivals as possible. You're going to win a lot of awards. You're going to make a lot of money with it, but you got to put your heart in. That's what I would tell you.
Okay, thank you for that. One of the next questions I have is that the film industry has evolved significantly over the past 30 years. I mean, when we're talking about cutting film back in the day, they would actually have actual film that would cut and then put it together, and that's how films were made. But now in 2014, we have DSLRs, we have Reds, we have 4K resolution for technology's perspective. But then we've also been talking about Vimeo, Netflix, Hulu, YouTube, Fandor is coming around. So the way people, and with smartphones and tablets, the way we watch films and shorts and documentaries has changed as well. Where would you want to see the industry go in the next 5 years?
I don't know. I'm no oracle. I don't, I can't read the future. I don't know. It's, I think things will keep developing, and we don't know where we're going. Mm-hmm. It's just, as much as making a movie was democratized, no, how do you call it? Well, it's easy as it gotten to make a movie. It's gotten much easier due to digital production, means. It's still super difficult to get it to your audience. So I would hope that we'll find the golden key on how to reach audiences, because that's the key factor now. It's not making a movie anymore, but it's bringing it to its audience and making it work, and actually making it successful also in terms of money. It's bringing it to festivals is great, but having a box office is just as great. And it actually, you need to have this in order to make your next movie. So I don't know. I'm very interested to see what's going to happen in terms of outreach to audiences. What are the means and ways that are going to develop over the next couple of years? Because I mean, whether it's 4K or 8K, who cares? It's about emotionally driven stories that everybody can identify with, and that everybody just loves. Be it drama, be it comedy. That's what it's important. That's always going to be the same. But we need to find a way, or everybody needs to find a way to bring it to its audiences.
Yeah. Now, because we've been talking about digital media and digital technology, there's a website for the film, and you guys on social media, you've been talking about tweets, so you obviously guys have a Twitter, also what about Facebook, so this is the moment where you plug all that away.
Of course, we have a Twitter feed, it's Special Need, The Special Need. It's we have Facebook. You find it under the Special Need movie. There's a website, thespecialneed.com. So there's various ways on how to find us. You know, you punch in the Special Need on IMDb, and you're right on the page of the movie. And so, yeah, please do reach out, learn more, get in touch if it's something that that is, I don't know, that is important to you and that you might know from your family. We're going to build an outreach engagement campaign, so each and every contact is very valuable.
Well, thank you very much for having a few minutes to sit down with us, and we'll wish you the best of luck with the rest of the festivals you might do, and then the future plans on releasing the film and other projects you might have coming up in the future. Thank you.
Thanks a lot for having me.